Okay, so this is part 2 of rating every single card in Brothers War based on my gut reactions. If you watched part 1, you'll know I'm not doing this in any particular order. It's just kind of the order in which I downloaded all the cards. That being said, we're still on artifact creatures as there's a lot. First one for this video is Autonomous Assembler. This is going to be 5 mana for a 4/5. It has Vigilance, and then it has tap and tap 1 to get +1/+1 counter on target assembly worker. I honestly don't know how many different types of assembly workers there are. Because of the way it's worded, you could target itself with this, and then it also has prototype 1 and 1 white to be a 2/2. So all in all, not a bad card. Definitely could see this in a lot of white decks just because a 2 mana 2/2 or even a 5 mana 4/5 are good, but having the ability to just put counters on whatever is also really good and has a lot of synergy with a lot of other existing cards. Next we have Clay Revenant. This is basically just a slightly worse version of Reassembling Skeleton, but it's only 1 mana for a 1/2, which is decent. So I could see people having this in their decks just to have a 1/2 turn 1. Other than that though, I don't see it being used a lot other than as a sacrifice card. Next we have Phalagi Dragon Engine. This honestly, I can only see it getting played for its prototype cost because 3 mana for a 1/3 with flying is decent, it's okay. It's not going to do anything except for really block or occasionally be a nuisance to your opponents. But 8 mana for a 5/5 with flying is not great at all. It does have the added benefit of 2 mana to pump it up, and you can do that as many times as you want, but honestly, not a great card. Next we have another ridiculous card that green decks are going to love. Perennial Behemoth is a 5 mana 2/7, but it has an Unearthed Crust that's only 2 green, and then it gives you the ability to play lands from your grave. So if you're using like cycling lands or some type of land that throws itself into the grave, you can then play it directly onto the battlefield. Really good card overall. I don't like that it's got such weak power, but honestly, if this thing had like even 5 power, it'd be too strong. Finally for this video, we're going to talk about Tower Worker. It's a 1/3 for 3 mana, which is okay. It has reach, which is good, and then it has the effect of add 1 colorless. If you have a creature named Mine Worker and Power Plant Worker, add 3 instead. This could be really good if you have all 3 workers on the field. The only problem is it's relatively easy to destroy single creatures, and unless you have multiple copies, which means you're going to probably have to build the entire deck around them, it is a pretty easy combo to counter. So not a bad card, definitely good as far as commons go, but not going to be game changing.